Update 1 on Cyclone Alessia, the first storm to form in the Australian region and the second storm in the southern hemisphere this year so far, with current wind speeds of around 50 miles per hour sustained and an air pressure of 989 millibars. Its current position is 14.7 degrees south, 122.8 degrees east as of 9 p.m. UTC November 22nd, that's 5 a.m. Western Australian time, November 23rd. The storm's currently likely to make landfall in Western Australia as a tropical storm, Category 1 cyclone on the Australian scale, and then move further towards the Northern Territory. So cyclone warnings in effect right now for Cockatoo Island, eastwards to the Western Australia Northern Territory border, and a cyclone watch extending beyond that towards Point Stewart, including Tiwi Islands towards the north of Darwin. So that's the current situation with the storm right now. The current sea surface temperatures are fairly warm, around 30 to 31 degrees Celsius, certainly warm enough to sustain tropical cyclone development, though its biggest inhibitor will probably be land interaction in the next 12 to 24 hours and beyond. So the current models, let's see what they're saying right now. You can see Australia towards the central northern part of this screen here, with a storm forming on the eastern side of Australia in the next few days. Not really much of a sign of Alessia itself from the CMC model, at least, not really picking up on it too well. The GFS model though does have the current storm, pretty much tracking it through the northern tips of Australia at the intensity it's forecasted, a weak storm, and then going out into the Gulf of Carpentaria, where it could redevelop into a significant tropical cyclone once it clears land and moves out to sea again. So here's the storm on the latest satellite imagery over the past few hours. You can see it definitely moving towards the east-southeast, towards land, and it looks like at this rate it will make landfall in around 12 hours, maybe a little bit less if it speeds up a little bit more than what it's doing right now. It's a small storm, fairly compact at the moment, only not too much beyond its central core right now. You can see some spiral bands or perhaps some remnants of them, but we have that central core of the storm, and I think it should generate some more inclement weather around it as it approaches land, if it does have time to do so before it does make landfall and begins to weaken over the hostile environment of northern Australia. Though with wind speeds of 50 miles per hour right now, we could see some gales along the coast of Australia, and certainly should be one to prepare for those people living in those remote areas of the northern coast there. So in the world tropics right now, as of November 22nd at 9 p.m. UTC, we currently have the remnants of Melissa in between the Azores and the Iberian Peninsula. Now we have the remnants of Helen as well, holding on to tropical depression status off the coast of India, and we have Invest 92W, which could develop into a new storm as it moves into the Indian Ocean, currently in the Andaman Sea right now. In the Australian region, this is the current satellite image. You can see a lot of disturbances going on there, a lot of tropical rainfall falling along the northern tips of Australia there, but the only real organised system is the one we've been following right now, Alessia, which is likely to make landfall in Australia in the next 24 hours. So let's take a look at 2013/14 compared. Obviously it's the first storm to form in the Australian region, quite a way off the second quietest season on record so far, which was 1987 to 88, which had 5 tropical storms form, the 28th busiest season on record so far this year. And you can track the storm at the website force13.com/stormtracking.html. That's the main page for all the storm tracking information, all the storms that are out there in the world as they happen. You can also find us elsewhere on the web at Facebook and Twitter. To search Force 13 on either of those mediums, and you should see updates quite often as and when the storms are up and active. And if you wish to send a comment, you can do so by directly, if you wish, by private message, or by the email address, which you can get to by the contact form on the Force 13 website. The next update on this storm, if necessary, will follow at around the same time tomorrow, 9 p.m. UTC. That's around 5 a.m. Western Australian time. Until then, that's all for now.